And welcome again to Cottage Talk Full Time. I'm Russ Goldman. Joining me right now is the Fulham Shadow, Emilio Di Nello. This is our full-time show, our initial reaction show, and I'm going to call it Fulham's embarrassing loss to Sheffield United. It was a 1-0 loss, but they scored in the 4th minute, and they held on to win this match. I'll give them credit, but I'm going to tell you right now, Emilio, I thought Fulham lost today to an average side. I think they're going to be an average side. I know people predicting top 6. We'll see. I want to give them full credit, but you know what? Fulham got what they deserved, which was absolutely nothing. So, Emilio, I'm going to go to you first. Give me your opening thoughts here.
Well, why did we bother turning up to the game tonight? We've braved the cold weather, all this COVID nonsense that's going on.
Right.
Having to prove you're vaccinated, wearing masks, in a stadium, and for that performance, that was awful. That was woeful from the first whistle right to the last whistle.
Yep.
Freezing my ass off in the car here at the moment. So I'm actually Fulham Shadow is back tonight. I'm not standing outside. You'll be glad to know, but it's right. I didn't why did we all bother, to be honest? That performance was very, very woeful. Average performances, poor performances throughout. And I agree with you. Sheffield United, okay, they got relegated with us last season. Very average team, but they had a game plan like most teams are having at the moment. They've got a game plan against Fulham.
That's right.
These teams are proving to be successful. They're not giving us any space. They're pressing
Emilio,
us back.
we've been figured out. I can now say that.
We have, and we need to change that very quickly, because what was a commanding 9-point lead, I think it was, in automatic promotion.
Down to 3, my friend.
It's only 3 now. So look, the pressure's on. Christmas fixtures coming up. COVID risks, with players, dropping like flies potentially. And you know what? What can you do? It's, I braved it, as, not that many people out there tonight. It was midweek game on television, COVID, Christmas, you name it. A lot of reasons for people not to turn up. But for the brave few that did, I think we all deserve a gold medal for that, because that was a woeful performance, and one I want to forget.
Absolutely, Emilio. And let's just start here, because we will talk about man of the match at the end. But I just want to give full credit to you, to all the Fulham supporters, for what they had to do just to get to Craven Cottage, to watch that, and to actually sit through that or stand or whatever they did to just deal with that. Again, I give them so much credit. Everyone that showed up there and gave it their all to support Fulham Football Club. Let's just do it right now. Man of the match goes to the Fulham supporters.
Yeah, absolutely. That's who
man of the match goes to the Fulham supporters. Let's not waste any time on that. I was going to wait to the end. Let's not waste any time. Man of the match, Emilio, is the fans. Supporters.
The fans, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. We've got the gold medal. It's, we've got, at the end of the day, it's my very first game watching Fulham all those years ago. It was 42 years ago. I was at home to Sheffield United, ironically, on Boxing Day 1980. And we beat them 2-1. Gordon Davis, one of our guests on Cottage Talk, he scored a goal that day. So, Gordon, if you're listening, I do remember you scoring against Sheffield United on Boxing Day all those years ago in 1980. But yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to do the same tonight. We needed you. We needed you tonight, Gordon, and Rob, for that matter.
We definitely could have used Gordon in this match. Maybe Rob as well.
Yeah,
maybe we could have used both of them.
Absolutely. We needed their qualities tonight. And yeah, we just looked lackluster. We looked slow, sluggish.
How about predictable?
Tired, predictable. Yeah, all these adjectives. We did look very predictable. And, all fairness to Sheffield United, they scored very early on. We should have defended that a lot better. Let's be honest. Defensively, we were nowhere. Tosin, I've seen the replay. Tosin was nowhere to be seen. I thought Rodak could have done better, but I've been told Rodak wasn't at fault. Maybe it was a good shot, good strong run down the middle, no tackle, there was nobody pressing there.
It was a free ride to the goal.
Free ride,
easy free ride,
and it wasn't the strongest shot on goal. It's quite a tepid shot, if anything. Bottom corner. I thought Rodak could have done better, but then I haven't seen a replay, so I don't know what fans think. Am I being unfair to Rodak, or could he have done better?
Well, let's go right there. Emilio, I've seen a couple of views of this, and if you're watching live, feel free to share your thoughts. Do you put Marek Rodak as the person to blame for this goal? Obviously, the Fulham defense opened up like a chasm, and Ndai just walked right through it. And it wasn't this hard, crazy shot.
No,
the announcer, the announcing crew I had, the announcer I had, basically said it was this tremendous goal. Emilio, I don't know if I would call it this tremendous goal. I would just say it was a good goal. It wasn't a goal of the season goal,
No.
but I have to ask the question. I'm asking the question. I've seen it a few times. And the announcer said, do you put some blame on Marek Rodak? So I don't know. I put a lot of blame on the fact that he had a free ride to take a shot here.
Exactly. For me, obviously, I'm side of the pitch, so all I can see is a surging run down the middle. Nobody putting in a tackle. Nobody getting their bodies in front of them, and and that was also a story of tonight. We looked a lot more lightweight than Sheffield United, and it was quite telling tonight. But overall, then when he connected with his shot, there wasn't a lot of power on that shot. It was okay. It was in a good position, low in the corner, but I'd like to see the replay from behind the goal. Could Rodak have done better? Or at least get closer to the ball. But
I'm not sure about that. I would like to say yes, Emilio, but I am still more concentrated on how Endai just basically waltzed his way towards the penalty area and then took a shot.
Too easy, right?
Too easy.
Too easy.
Too easy. So again, that's a good point for us to start on. And Emilio, just in general, because I was going to say poor first half, we could also say poor second half. But what's interesting about watching this, and after they scored the goal, I thought, okay, plenty of time, Emilio. Fulham will get their stuff together and really just take it to Sheffield United. And again, what I watched, and this is full credit to Sheffield United, they were comfortable defensively, not just in the first half, but in the second half. But if we're talking about the first half, I'm watching the ball go to one side, to the other side. It's very predictable. And I want to give Heckenbottom a lot of credit because he really worked a way to take away Harry Wilson, take away Kenny Tete, make us beat them in the middle, and we couldn't do it. We just kept switching side to side, and they were doubling up on Cabano. They were doubling up on Wilson, and they had a very good game plan. We could not break them down. So that is a credit to Sheffield United. But the bigger question is, why couldn't we adjust to what they were doing? It's not earth-shattering what they were doing, Emilio.
No.
And again, you get to halftime, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to see a change. We'll talk about second half in just a few minutes because he does make a substitution. We'll talk about bringing on Tom Kearney. But the first half, just poor, Emilio. Is there anything positive to take out of the first half? I'll say the one positive to take out of the first half is that it ended.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what was the only, there was a snapshot from Mitrovic, wasn't it? About 20, 30 minutes into the game. That was the only not half chance of note,
half
something
chance.
out of nothing.
Half
but
chance.
Other than that,
that's it.
All they kept doing is they got that early goal. They pressed us. They were time wasting from early on. So a bit like what Bournemouth did a couple of weeks ago. Got that early goal, and they were like time wasting. And they were pressing us. They were pushing us back. So again, opposing teams are sussing us out now. Cabano got little space.
That's the bigger issue I have.
Cabano's been our most productive outlet from out wide this season. He's been out of the game and not been a shadow of himself the last few games. It's not surprising to see, but the fact that we've scored few goals in the last 5 games, Cabano not been shining. Where's our wit? There was no wits today, for example.
Right, and that's what I was talking about.
Half. Tete, I thought, was one of our better players today, but again, wasn't really didn't have the freedom to push forward. It is the Sheffield United players kept just pushing us back. They were physically stronger, trying to catch us on the break, trying to get those loose balls. We had no answer. Like you said, all we kept doing is, oops, no, sorry. I'm in the car and it's, let me just hold on a second.
Now you're really dark.
Yeah, I'm very dark now. So yeah.
You're very dark. The shadow has gone fully dark now. Okay.
So, and just as far as I'm concerned, all we kept doing is get pushing back.
Right.
And we were going sideways. That's all we could do.
Right.
We had no quality.
Right.
There's no invention. We were predictable, as we've mentioned a few times.
Yep.
And we thought, okay, go in at half time, goal down, one goal in it. We can make some changes. I thought he made the right decision to make the substitutions there. Tom Kenny coming on. I thought that was the right decision. But
I agree.
Again, I was saying Steve Reynolds before at half time. I said take Seri off, put Reed more, sitting back in front of the defence, and see if Tom Kenny can make a difference there. But equally, Carvalho, where was he tonight? Mitrovic was isolated. Carvalho looked a lone passenger. To be honest, looked out of his depths tonight. Looked a lot lost, to be honest, like a little kid lost in the park. That's what it felt like today. And I don't want to just pointing a finger on him. The whole team just didn't. The balance didn't look right, and we were lacking quality in good technique at times. Our passing wasn't as good as it could do, and then Sheffield United had a game plan and it worked. So we are being found out. We are being found out. We can't keep defending the team here. 5 games without a win, albeit 1 defeat. But that's anything but promotion form, to be honest. So they've got to
this
change.
Is an issue now. This has now become an issue, Emilio. And I just shared this comment. If they're doubling up, it means that there are spaces elsewhere. And I got to tell you, it's a good point because, again, they weren't able to move the ball quick enough, or they weren't finding the open spaces. Because, again, full credit to Sheffield United. I'm going to share some more comments. We've got some really good ones. This is from Tamara. I want to share this. I sit near the cottage and saw the Sheffield goal, and it was so effortless. I was shocked. And again, that's similar to how you reacted.
Yeah, Emilio. Exactly. And I think the point for me is these teams recently have been, even this one-to-one marking, they're not giving us any space. The players the opposing teams aren't giving the respect that we maybe had at the beginning of the season. We had a lot more space. The other teams are sitting back, trying to absorb pressure. These other teams are saying, get at Fulham, push at Fulham, press Fulham, force the mistakes. And that's what teams have been doing in recent weeks, and which is why we're not seeing the productivity and the points on the board. So game plan needs to change. Silva's got to find a solution very quickly, or else that automatic promotion position is going to be at risk by the time we get into the new year.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And before we talk about the second half, because again, at the very end of the show, I just want to mention we're going to share a very special video that was taken from you that's going to show the ending stages, the ending opportunities for Fulham. And I want to thank Emilio for taking that video. We're going to share that in just a bit, so hang tight with us on that. But before we do that, Emilio, I want to go over some talking points. And let's talk about the talking points. Let's talk about who were the passengers in this match. Because again, I'm not going to lie, I was hot after this match, and I'm thinking, who did not play well? The bigger question should be who played well, because there weren't that many. But who stood out for you as the passengers? I just want to mention this: our Cottage Talk co-host and also host of one of the hosts of the Fofcast, Mike Gregg, was begging for Anthony Robinson to be taken off at halftime.
Yeah,
so
Robinson,
he stands out. Who else were the passengers? If you're watching live, let us know who you thought were the passengers in this match, because I think it really hurt us.
Yeah, and I think, I'm going to distinguish between passengers and those who actually got no space or actually didn't get any, like Cabana, for example. I don't think Cabana necessarily was a passenger.
I don't think he was a passenger.
I just thought he was outmarked, often 2 against 1, didn't have any space, and it was there was no other outlet other than him. I thought Carvalho for me was a big passenger, or a small passenger, because he's not the biggest bloke in the world, but what I'm trying to say, but he was a passenger. I thought he looked lost in that park. I would have taken him off at half time, but gave him a little bit more time. He came off eventually, and we had a little bit more zip when he came off, when Bobby Reid came on, but I thought Carvalho was a passenger. Harrison Reid, I'm not his biggest fan. Again, it just feels like he's running around like a headless chicken. And this was another game. All he kept doing was running round and round and round and round. What does he actually contribute to the game? So sorry if people don't like what I'm saying about Harrison Reid, but
yeah,
I'm getting
I don't think he was very good at all, to be honest with you.
Poor, slow, not strong enough, getting out fought, get out muscled, and he looked a passenger. Seri, I thought, was a passenger in the first half as well. So there's a few passengers there, to be honest. And defensively, Ream didn't have his best game. Toasted, I think, could have done, should have done better with their goal. Should have defended that better. And so there, for me, were the biggest passengers, in my opinion, to be honest.
Okay. And again, listening to the broadcast or watching it, the commentary was, why are Fulham not being more creative? And I got to be honest with you, they just weren't. And this goes back to, were they moving the ball quick enough? Were they being too patient? Emilio, was it a little bit of Parker ball? I hate to go there, but it felt a little bit like Parker ball. I'm just saying it was the patience instead of the urgency, taking some risks. And Fulham have taken plenty of risks. So here's the bigger point, Emilio, and you and I already talked about, what did you think of our plan B here? Because again, there was a plan B in the second half. Again, you bring on Tom Kearney, you bring on Bobby Decordova-Reid, and you bring on Muniz. When they brought on Muniz, it was definitely a change of shape and everything like that. So there was a plan B. It just didn't work.
No,
it didn't really. I didn't see this seismic change with the substitutions and the way things were going with the change. They bring on Robinson to be more aggressive, right? And when you bring on Muniz, it just didn't work, Emilio.
Yeah, we had no wits. That's the
No.
thing. You bring on your biggest, him, and bring another centre forward there, and you've got no wits. You take off Robinson, who had a shocker, but albeit we know, he can come. He's got pace and can get average. So it's occasionally some good balls in the box. The only other outlet we had wide was Tete, and again, he was being pushed back and didn't have the freedom to come forward at times. So to be honest, you then put Ream as a left back. You put Kenny Tete into central defence. We looked an absolute bloody disjointed mess, to be honest. So that plan B didn't quite work. Tom Kenny coming on for Carvalho, it was, for oh god, it's when Tom Kenny came on at halftime for Sarri, it was the right thing to do. But Tom, how many times did he touch the ball in that second half? When Carvalho got taken off, right decision
Bobby
again. Muniz, I'm still to be convinced. Who's given, but there was no service. Where's the width?
No, where was the service, Emilio?
There's no width. So these two guys, it's got two forwards looking for the ball, waiting patiently, and you've got no wide men to get the ball into other than Tete. So to be honest, it's we've got to go back to the dressing room. They can have their Christmas dinner early tomorrow and get back on the training ground ready for the Birmingham game next weekend. But overall, we just look disjointed, fragmented, and confidence is down. Mitrovic's head is more down than up these days. The goals are not as forthcoming as usual. He had a frustrating day getting no service, and the players, when things aren't running to plan, we're not given the space that we were given earlier part of the season. Then, we're struggling to break these teams down. How many goals have we scored in 5 now?
Yeah.
Is it 3?
Is
it 3
I
goals?
believe it's only 3, Emilio, which is shocking, right?
Yeah. So where's the quality? Where's the creativity? Where's the plan B that people are talking about? There isn't. At the moment, there needs to be a plan B. If we want to sort of push on in the new year, we've got to find some solutions in, and maybe we need a couple reinforcements in the January window just to give us that chance to get the automatic promotion. But at the moment, the wheels are dropping off quite quickly, and Bournemouth, the likes of Blackburn, West Brom are starting to pinch a few wins now as well, and the gap's closing. So it's going to be an interesting second half of the season. We're not going to run away with this league, put it that way. This is what everyone expected 2 months ago. The wheels have come off a bit. Okay.
Emilio, how much of the blame do you put this loss on Marco Silva?
At the end of the day, I think when we saw the lineup, I think most of us
very strong.
Yeah, I thought we were reasonably comfortable with that lineup. I was comfortable with that starting 11. To be honest, I'm glad I wanted to see Robinson back on instead of Joe Bryan. So the fact that he underperformed and was woeful, that's still a liability. That position, that left back position, we've got to there's a gap there. But overall, I think most of us would have taken that starting 11. So I don't blame Silva, to be honest. I just think we're lacking some intelligence in midfield. I don't think we're physically strong enough. I think I'm seeing some of these teams in the Championship stronger, uglier, and we're struggling to respond in that middle of the park. I think we're missing a physical presence. Someone like a Josh Oliver type person, someone who's a bit more of a bully, who's stronger.
We'll see if Chalobah can fit that role.
Maybe Chalobah, possibly. He's not really impressed that much. He had a couple of good games early in the season, but with Reed in there, Seri in there, Carvalho, Tom Kenny, all fairly lightweight, to be honest. I think we're not being, we're not dominating that middle. Harry Wilson, lightweight. Cabano, lightweight. So yes, they've got pace, but generally speaking, our physical presence isn't good enough. And I think teams are fighting their way through us a bit too easy. That goal is a good example. Bit more strength in midfield, you wouldn't have got past that easily.
Right.
So that's a worry for me. You need that physical presence, that bit of a bullying, bullying in there, and I don't think we've got that in our squad at the moment. We're easy to bypass, easy to push aside, and the referee wasn't the best tonight. And some of the decisions.
I'm not going there, man. I'm not blaming the referee for this.
Yeah. Sheffield United were stronger. They bullied us. They were uglier, and it was successful.
It was successful. It was a winning formula. And like I've started the show, congratulations to them. I would still rather have our side. Yeah. And we'll see how they end up at the end of the year. I just see them as a team that could potentially be mid-table. Maybe they make the playoff. Maybe they do. But I see that they are a beatable team, but they had a great game plan. Full credit to them. I'm just going to share some more comments here. Wayne says you can't blame Marco Silva. Again, going back to your point on the starting 11, I was all for it. So to his point, I understand that. I'm just thinking more of when things weren't going right, you got to fix it. And we just didn't fix it. Do you put
And he
the blame
changed
on
it
the
early.
players?
And he changed it early, didn't he? So normally I've been a little bit critical where he hasn't made
He did.
changes at half time. So he made a change at half time, which was
He did.
the one I called, and it was the right decision to make. But Tom didn't really have any influence in the game, so didn't really do anything of note. So it's not Marco Silva's fault that the players haven't turned up tonight. So it's a lot of it. I'm not defending anything here. I just feel that the team looks a little bit slightly devoid of confidence.
Yep.
We're lacking a bit of quality, but we're lacking physical presence in that middle of the park. And that, for me, is starting to cause problems. Preston, Luton, tonight, Bournemouth. Look at these games. There's a common theme coming here. There's a common theme.
Yeah, I was going to say, Emilio, it's something that we would say about my other team that I follow. There's a blueprint on how to beat Fulham now. There's a blueprint. And now it's on Marco Silva and his staff to basically beat this blueprint and find another way. But the players, again, it's not just about Silva, it's the players. The players, again, there are too many passengers out there. So I'm not going to put all this blame on Silva. I'm just going to mention the fact that we're talking about a plan B. I'm also going to say, and I said this to you off air, I'm now full on board with January. I think you need players. You need central midfielders. Dare I say you need players to leave. And I'm not going to single anyone out, but there are players there, even tonight, that you need to seriously consider selling. And you need players that are going to be part of not just the here and now, but the future. And there are players there that, I'm sorry, man, they're just not good enough. And they keep showing you they're just not good enough. Okay. All right, my friend. Before we end the show, coming up next, I'm going to share a video from the Fulham Shadow, and it's going to show you how close we're Fulham to getting that equalizer. Okay, Emilio, and I just want to thank Emilio Di Nello very much for taking this video. This video is the later stages of the match. It's probably, about 30 seconds, Emilio? And it's going to catch the opportunity from Mitro and also the opportunity from Harry Wilson. You're going to see how close it was. So I'm just going to play the video, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, Emilio?
Okay, sounds good.
Here we go. All right, Emilio, there you go. So let's now talk about that. Let me just pull up. So I want to get your thoughts when you were watching that. And again, thank you so much for that video, Emilio. Okay. That was amazing. So let's talk about Mitro hitting the post and Wilson goes over the net. And again, I watched it live and it's like, man, that was close. But watching your video,
very close.
Shows even closer how close it was.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's one of those nights, shadow's gone dark again, typically.
Dark again.
So, it just, into injury time, into added time. And, literally, that was a moment. That was a moment to pinch a draw. And I don't think we even deserved a draw, to be honest, but I would have taken it.
I don't think so.
Ball got a little bit stuck on the pitch again, between Mitrovic's feet. And, maybe 6 games ago, that would have been in the top of the net. Again, sometimes the connection is not as good as it can be. He didn't hit it as sweetly and cleanly as he would have done, say, 6 weeks ago when he was banging in hat-tricks after hat-tricks. So it's those fine margins, right? So maybe if that occurred back in the end of October, that probably would have been in the back of the net. Middle of December, maybe not so. But it's Wilson for me. You've got to do better there. You've got to hit the target on that rebound off the corner, off the crossbar. But overall, that was our one opportunity in the whole game. That says it all.
Yeah, and that does say it all, Emilio.
That says it all. We deserve nothing from that game. But
no, we really, I can't make an argument to get a point. I can't make an argument here. Again, it was a great opportunity, but we're talking at the very end of this match. We're talking about the tail end. So that tells you all you need to know. I do want to share a couple comments. And Chris, I couldn't find your other one, but he does wish us Merry Christmas. And right back to you, Chris. But he's right about this. We started the show talking about the fans. There's more important things in football. Let's not get too down about this. Chris, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
We all were looking forward to this match. But in the end, it's not the most important thing in the world. It's our health. It's being, being alive and being able to survive what we've been able to survive. That's number one.
Yeah, totally
Fulham
agree.
is a wonderful thing that brings us all together. But you know what? It's most important will always be our health. And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Chris, all the Fulham supporters, and you, Emilio. And I think that's a great way to end it.
Absolutely.
Because Chris brings up a wonderful point, and the most important thing is to remember that it's really not that bad. It's a loss. It's not that bad. There are worse things going on in the world.
Yeah,
and you know what? But what's great about doing this show is that, as you see, all the people watching this live with us, Emilio, around the world, we're all Fulham supporters. We all care about the team. But I think we all just basically the most important thing is that we are a family. And the most important thing is that I want the family to be safe.
Yeah,
and I want to, and again, I'll end one last time. Merry Christmas to everyone. I'll give you final thoughts, Emilio.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked off air before we started the show about the most, it's only a game of football at the end of the day. And, the fact that, with the stuff, all these cases in the UK, the number of cases increasing day by day, it is a very worrying situation. But the few, fought bravely to come outside on a cold winter's night. And, I'll still be there, through good and through bad following this club. They're my passion.
Exactly.
They're my love. 42 years supporting the club. There've been worse days than today, put it that way. I've seen worse performances in lower division. So, Chris, I'm sure you can appreciate that as well. So it's a game of football. We'll get better. We'll learn from this, hopefully, and then we can press the start button again, and hopefully push on in the new year.
Yep. I'm just going to share some more comments. And our friend Anthea, all the way in New Zealand, Anthea, always love hearing from you. Merry Christmas, guys. Look forward to Fulham bounce back like after the Coventry game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you on that, Anthea. I hope we have it. And honestly, I cannot wait for that next Coventry match. It's not to the end of the season. I've got a personal thing with some of their supporters, but I'm glad that you brought that up. Okay. All right. Emilio, thank you so much for doing this. And again, thank you so much for having that video. I'll figure out a better way to share it next time, because I had that comment still on there. But you know what? The video speaks for itself. It was great to do. And we'll keep sharing some other videos as well. It was great. All right.
Absolutely. Well, happy Christmas, everyone around the world as well. Hope you don't be too despondent about the game. It's only one game out of 46. We've still got another 20 odd games to recover. We'll be beating more teams than losing. So let's keep the faith.
Exactly. And before we go, I just want to give a major thank you to everyone that's actually contacted me. I am taking a break from Twitter, and it's not even Fulham related. There's something that happened over the weekend that just said, you know what, it's time to take a break, a mental break. So I'm taking a break from Twitter. The Cottage Talk Twitter account will still be active, but my main account will not be active, and it could be a long time. I just need to walk away. And as we're talking about, just realize what's important. And it's my family, it's my friends like Emilio and everyone that watches and listens, and the Fulham supporters, the Patriots fans as well. I just need to take a step back, and I want to thank everyone that's reached out to me. There have been so many people that reached out to me. I'm okay. I'm fine. It's just something that I just need to do. I do this every once in a while. I just need to take a step back. So anyways, thank you, everyone. Well, it's time to wrap up the show. For the Fulham Shadow, Emilio Di Nello doing a great job as a shadow tonight. I'm Russ Goldman. Thank you as always for watching and listening to Cottage Talk.